this is a really lethal cocktail we have here. Two groups of people literally a stone's throw away from each other, and we could be looking at hand-to-hand fighting as well.
Yes, a worrying development, and of course what we're seeing now are three military security personnel trucks being used as barriers. One of our correspondents was describing this for us a short time ago. He's there very close to where those vehicles are. Just tell me, we can see the three vehicles blocking a road between the two sets of protesters. Tell me what you're seeing.
Well, the pro-regime protesters are being pushed back gradually by the advancing anti-government ones. The rocks are still flying in all directions. Every so often I'm seeing someone bloodied, their face injured, running past me. We have to bear in mind that here now everyone is running. Everybody is running away from the square, from where the rocks continue to fly. You have to bear in mind that in the middle of Tahrir Square there are hundreds, if not thousands, of women and children that were present there throughout the week. So it's not only a battle between young men or old men. This is a lot of defenseless people, if you will, that will be caught up in this. And one has to ask where the military is, because they've literally just had three of their armored vehicles, their personnel vehicles, overtaken by a group of people. Just a few minutes ago, we did hear live fire, as my colleague mentioned. We're not sure who fired and in what direction, but there is no doubt that live fire was being used to help.
And we can see, even from these images, if I just bring our viewers to look at the pink building that's right in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. There's a military man on the roof there, just watching what's going down on street level. And we've got people now, I think we can see Jamal on our screen.
It seems like there's a resurgence from the pro-regime demonstrators. They were pushed back gradually. Now they're trying to push again. But I assume the sheer number of anti-government protesters is proving to be too much. I don't know if you can hear the clanking and banging around me. That's rocks being broken by the pro-Mubarak regime. And just to refresh our viewers that Tahrir Square throughout the week has been seen of peaceful protests. It is only when the pro-Mubarak regime entered that we suddenly saw this confrontation.
And of course, on our screen now, we can see anti-Mubarak protesters on the right. We see pro-Mubarak supporters on the bottom left-hand of the screen. The military vehicles that you talked about seem to now be potentially in the possession of the anti-Mubarak protesters.
Well, that's just how things are unfolding. That's how quickly everything is unfolding. 1 minute it was in the arms of the military, then it was in the pro-Mubarak, and now it will be in the anti. The thing is, there is no clear leadership here, Sahel. There is no clear order. There is nothing whatsoever. What we saw in terms of civic responsibility over the past week from the anti-government protesters and the searching of bags and ensuring that everyone was entering was peaceful has been totally shattered by this pro-regime demonstrators who have come here really looking for some sort of confrontation. There is no doubt about it. The people came here wielding sticks, machetes, rocks, and the slogans that they were coming with were, "We were going to kick them out of the square. These people are traitors. This is our president and we love him." So there is no doubt that there was a clear intent. I'm looking at someone now who's just walking with a sharpened, maybe 5 foot long spear, if you will, wooden spear, just going right past me right now as we speak. There is no doubt that the intention from the offset today by the pro-Mubarak regime was to create some sort of confrontation. Now, where that will lead us to, particularly considering that the army has totally withdrawn, and we have to also remind ourselves here that there was nowhere near enough military soldiers present in Tahrir Square to prevent such a confrontation. So where this will lead is easily anyone's guess. Sahel.
Indeed, no one knows where this is going to lead. It's still a very serious situation there in and around Tahrir Square. Let's join Salma. She's actually there in Tahrir Square. Where are you at the moment, Salma? What are you seeing?
I'm in the middle of the square. On the entrances and the exits, people are trying to stop the Mubarak thugs. And please do not call them protesters. We are protesters. These are not protesters. Protesters do not come in government buses. They do not come armed.
How are they hurting you? Tell me what you can. Tell me. Salma, you need to.
We need to get killed for the people to understand what a criminal Abori is. Then we hit.
Salma, tell me exactly what you can see.
Do not call them protesters.
Salma, tell me exactly what you can see right now. It's a very difficult situation, I do understand.
I don't know. People are leaving the women in the middle. All the men are going to the entrances to try to stop them from entering, and the people are receiving people that are beaten up, people that are drowned in their blood.
It's a very frightening situation for you, I'm sure. Are there people trying to leave the square, trying to get away from the violence?
No, we cannot leave the square even if we want to.
Why is that? Why can you not leave the square?
Because they are approaching the entrances. They are blocking the entrances, and we are trying to block them from inside.
Tell me what sort of injuries people are facing. How hurt are they?
They're throwing huge stones at people. They're throwing people and throwing glass bottles at people. All the injuries are basically head injuries.
How many women and children are there? I mean, you can't tell me exactly the numbers, but there must be a lot.
Thousands of women and children.
And then.
It's just that the government TV is saying that the square now is taken by the Mubarak people, that nothing is happening yet, that we are the thugs. We are not the thugs. We have people calling us at home, deleting the national TV and telling us that we are destroying the country. If it takes for all of us to die, then be it. We just want them to live in dignity. We are fighting for them to live with dignity, because we are not animals. What separates us from animals is that we have dignity.
Okay, well, Salma, there for the moment, we'll leave you to try and find a safe passage out of the square if you can. Shireen, just been talking to one eyewitness, finding it difficult, in fact, to get out of the square because all avenues out are blocked.
Yeah, the situation right here getting more violent by the second. You can hear just going past me. That was a military tank that had moved in to try and calm the situation, but all it did was make things a lot worse, so it's now gone back into position. What happened was that the tank was trying to position itself in the middle between the pro and anti-government protesters. But what happened was the pro-government protesters tried to ride on the back of the tank, basically trying to get to try and trail the tank so that they could then be in the midst of the anti-government protesters. So when the military realized that that's what was happening, it retreated back. Now I can tell you it's complete chaos here, both sides fighting within 10 meters of each other, throwing rocks, and now they are setting a building on fire. It's a big building, I think it's the insurance company, and nobody seems to be able to do anything. The military doesn't seem to be moving any of these other tanks. There are other tanks in the area just a few hundred meters away, but they are not moving them into the area, and these clashes are just getting more intense.
And in one particular location that we can see on our screens right now, we're seeing a standoff between Mubarak supporters on the left of the screen. We're seeing anti-government supporters on the right of the screen. It's very close to the museum. Soldiers that are on the roof of the museum, unable to do anything. It seems that there was just a complete lack of security, a lack of support from the military to make sure that any demonstrations could pass off peacefully.